once again to the podcast and YouTube channel of Jaden Zander. Tonight on The Midnight Man with Jaden Zander, we have two more stories for your listening pleasure. Without further ado, let us now welcome Jaden.
Evening, and once again welcome to The Midnight Man with Jaden Zander. I'm Jaden, and tonight, once again, I have two more stories for your listening pleasure. And one of the stories, a contribution by one of our listeners, Mr. Haris Tan, who contributed his horror stories. So, without further ado, let us go to story number one. Alright, the first story is from my very own collection of horror stories, right? And this one, once again, happened at the old police K9 unit Changi base. Right now the base is no more because it has been replaced by the Changi prison complex. Alright, so back then, once again we were working shifts, and this particular incident happened during my day shift. All right, my day shift, and this incident happened at about 7+ in the evening when we were preparing to hand over to the night shift team. So normally what us handlers will do is we will feed our dogs and also bring our dogs for a walk. And how do we bring our dogs for a walk? Well, at the back of this police K9 unit Changi base, there is this small field. Okay, it is a fenced up field. It's just a small field actually, just to release your dogs and let your dog run, so that our dogs can relieve themselves for the day. And in this particular field, there is only one big tree. Okay, small field, one big tree, and fenced up all the way. All right, so this particular day, this particular officer, my teammate, as per normal, he went up to feed his dog, and then after which he took his dog to the back where the field was to let his dog run and relieve itself. So suddenly while his dog was like running around, he saw something. And bear in mind, because this area at the back is not well lit. Okay, it's not well lit, and we have always advised our officers not to go to that particular dog run area after 7 p.m. because it's not well lit. So but this officer, he thought it's just gonna take a couple of minutes, so it's fine. But he saw something, and he ran down to our office. Okay, me and a few other officers were in the office, and he came running towards us, and we were like, why is this guy running? And he came to us. He said that I saw something. After that, we asked him, what do you see? He said, I saw something. All of you come with me. So we were like, oh, okay, something must be wrong. Okay, for him to like panic that way. And we followed him. We quickened our steps, and one of our colleagues, he went to draw out this parang, this huge ass knife, I think, yeah, to bring with him. I'm not sure as to why he did that, but yeah, he did that. So about 5 or 6 of us went up to the back where the dog run area was at, and we ran there. And after that, well, once we reached there, of course, nothing is there except for his dog still waiting for him at the gate to be released lah. So we asked him, what happened? He said he saw something. He was there alone with his dog, and he saw something. After that, we told him, okay, fine, never mind, it's okay. You just get your dog, put your dog back in the kennel, come down to the office, and calm down. We talk. Okay. After that, we went down. So he did what he was supposed to do. Like we accompanied him also to bring his dog back to the kennel, lock the dog up for the night, and we went down to the office. So after a while, after he calmed down, we did ask him what happened, and this is his story. He said that while he was waiting for his dog to finish relieving itself in the field, he saw something squatting down, but this thing is squatting down on the fence, and this thing is black. Okay, it's black in color. It's bald. You can see the arms, the legs, but the weird thing is that this being, has got red eyes. That was what shocked him. All right, and he ran down after he saw that. So, to shorten the story, that particular area, yes, there were sightings, sightings of the Pontianak at the tree. That was why we discourage officers from bringing their dogs to run at the dog run area after 7 p.m. So that is the first story from the Police K9 Unit, Changi Base. And that is the first story for tonight. Of course, it happened quite some time ago actually, and when it happened, it was funny at times, because this colleague of mine was like, we were running and he was holding on to this parang, which is so uncalled for, but those were the days, So let us go to story number 2, a contribution by Mr. Haris Tan. So Haris' story goes like this. So one night, me and my family went over to our cousin's house to stay over. That night we were in the room watching this show, and a lot of people who watch this show said that we have to watch till the end, because at the end of the show they will say some things to dispel all the ghost. But that day all of us fell asleep and only watched it halfway through and didn't get to the end. So the next day everything was the same until Maghrib, where this started to get weird. My grandmother was cooking in the kitchen and she asked me to close the room door. So I went to the room, and as I was about to close the door, the television suddenly turned on by itself, and the screen was the black and white fuzzy thingy. The remote control was hanging behind the door on this hanging rack thing. So in my mind I thought, okay, maybe I accidentally hit it, that is why the TV turned on. So I picked up the remote and turned off the TV and put the remote back where I took it from. And when I was about to swing the door close, once again the TV turned on again by itself, and it is that black and white screen. Once again I thought, okay, never mind, maybe I hit the remote again, and so I turned it off again, but this time I put the remote at a different location. After a while I just remembered that if you turn on the television in the room, there will never be black and white screen, as there will always be the last channel a person watched. So after dinner, me and my family went in the room to watch TV, and at this point I still haven't told anyone about what happened just now. The room door was closed, and it was 9:30 p.m. and we were watching some drama on TV, and suddenly the door of the room started to shake like someone is trying to break into the room. It was loud and fast. Well, when you lock someone out and that someone wants to go into the room, that is how loud that thing or that person is banging on the door. So my grandmother opened the door. So what was outside was just pitch black, as there was nothing. So she closed the door. And it happened once again. And when the door is open, there still is nothing. So she closed it again. And then the third time, the door shook again as it's shaking. She opened the door, and to her surprise, she saw a white figure going into the master bedroom, which is behind the door. And do note that the gap between the wall and the door is just a fist length, so it's impossible for someone or something to hide there. There are no one in the house except for the four of us, and all of us are in the room. So, who was it, or what was it that disturbed us? That same night, we threw out the disc titled Wujud. So that is story number 2, and I would like to thank Mr. Haris for contributing that story of yours. And of course, this movie titled Wujud, I'm not too sure as to whether it's a Malaysia production or an Indonesian production, but well, you are invited to go and Google it. Okay, Wujud, a movie. Alright, so we come to the end of tonight's show, and once again I'd like to thank all of you for coming back to the Midnight Man with Jaden Zander for your weekly horror stories. Okay, and well, don't forget to share, to like, to comment, and of course to subscribe to my channel, and do not forget to press the bell, because you will get notifications whenever I upload new videos. So with that, I'd like to say to each and every one of you a very good night.
And this is the voice. I am Ghost.